Yo guys, welcome to ShayanGaming to another League of Legends video. Today I'm going to be discussing kind of like the order of priority of objectives and when to go where and stuff, kind of like little tips and stuff that I kind of use during games to help with decision making. So the first tip is, obviously the aim of the game is to destroy the Nexus, and you want to do that as quickly as possible. So as you know, mid lane is the shortest lane compared to top and bottom. So if you're ever in a scenario where, let's say you're halfway between mid lane and top lane, and you have the choice to either push the top lane or the mid lane, you always choose the mid lane, because the sooner you get that turret, the sooner you guys have access to the shortest route to the enemy Nexus. So a very important thing to focus on is getting the turrets as quickly as you can. The reason is, as you guys know, turrets gain 2 armor and magic resist every minute for up to 15 minutes. This starts with the outer turrets immediately as the game starts, and then 15 minutes into the game, the inner turrets take it, and then the inhib turrets. So you kind of want to do this as quickly as possible, so that it's easier for you guys to push to the Nexus, which is at the end of the day what you want to take. And when you do take a turret, your minions do get buffed for that specific lane that you've taken the turret for, so it obviously helps in pushing and making it easier. And also having a higher average level of your team buffs your minions for every lane, so obviously this encourages you to kind of get kills, zone people from experience, and yeah. Now in my experience, when you're laning, for example in bot lane as an ADC, what usually happens is you're kind of in your laning phase, either you get a kill and you back, or you just push them into their turret and then you back so that you don't actually lose experience when you come back. This is what I kind of call the first back. This is when you don't actually try and take the turret as quickly as you can, even though you should, because it's kind of better to back and get items in case you guys do want to end up taking Drake. And then when you do come back, this is kind of like the second laning phase round. And this is when either you push into the turret and then when your jungler's near, you guys take the dragon, or you try and gank bot lane and kill them. And then once you've done that, now that Drake's second buff helps burn turrets, I think you should prioritize Drake and then push bot lane turret and try and get it if you can. If your jungler's not near, then obviously, you know, ward Drake or whatever and take the turret as quickly as you can. That's kind of when you push the turret as much as you can, the second time when you're in lane, and then you can back and shop even more. So then later on in the game, what will happen is you'll get to a point where you've aced the enemy team and you're deciding, do I go Baron, do I go Drake, do I push the turrets? Well, basically, if there are minion waves going towards their turrets, either, you know, preferably if it's mid lane, then yeah, you want to push that. And if the minions haven't all got completely wrecked by the turret, then afterwards you can keep pushing and try to get the inhibitor, because if you do this, when the team respawns, they have to defend their base, and then that gives you an easier time taking the Baron in kind of a more safe way. Whereas instead, if you decided to not actually push the turrets and go straight to Baron, well, their base is safe, so as soon as they spawn, they can just rush to Baron and, you know, they might steal it. But it's always best to create the pressure. And remember, turrets do get stronger as time goes by, so you want to get the turrets as quickly as possible. But if there are no minions and you can't exactly push, then you don't want to sit there waiting for all the minions to come from, you know, the faraway journey that they must travel from your Nexus, because by that time, you know, the enemy team is probably going to respawn and come and do whatever they want to do. So obviously try to make use of your time, take the Drake, take Baron if you're strong enough. But if there is none of that, then try and take their buffs, take their red buff, blue buff, just take anything in their jungle to kind of make the jungler go crying and tilt mode. Now I was thinking of a little trick that you could do. I was thinking, if you're planning on taking the Baron, would it be best to take the top lane turret or the bottom lane turret? Because think about it like this, if what you're seeing on the screen right now is kind of like a pressure map, and let's say mid turret's been taken, so the pressure's kind of like, you know, like a little half triangle, what the hell? It's a triangle, man! But yeah, it's a triangle. So imagine this, imagine if you take the bottom tier 2, then that would force one of their teammates to go and defend it, right? So if they're all the way down there, then that makes it easier to have a 4v5 in Baron. But obviously if it's the top laner, which is, I guess, a smart thing they should do, and he has TP, then it doesn't really make a difference. But if it was, for example, the ADC going bot lane, then that would be great. So I think that could be a kind of a good strategy. I mean, I doubt people think about doing things like that, but it could be something. Yeah, like if you know you're going to take Baron soon, just push bot lane loads. But obviously the problem with that is they might start Baron while you're at bot, and then yeah, you're screwed. But just have some, you know, good warding, sidestone for the win. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was useful. There are probably loads of other tips also. This was kind of like part 1 of a video, I guess, or kind of like the first section of tips. If you have any other tips, just leave them in the comments below. Share with the League community. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like. It would be totally awesome. And subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Adios.